Welcome back. Dale Myers with Student Advance. Today we're going to talk about 8th grade math. 8th grade is a big year. We are finally going deeper into algebra. This is actually the foundation. If your child is going to be successful in 8th grade, high school, and beyond, it really starts right here. We start off the year with numbers and operations. Integers. Can you add, subtract positive and negative numbers? Then repeating decimals, terminating decimals, rational versus irrational numbers. We go deeper into exponents like 5 squared, 5 to the third power. Then we start using variables with exponents, and we do math operations. We do operations with exponents, with variables, as well as, traditional integers. We deal with scientific notation, expressing very large and very small numbers, square roots and cube roots of numbers, and approximating different roots. From there, we jump right into solving equations. Something like, this would be like a multi-step equation here, a two-step equation. And then, of course, we bring in parentheses, where we use the distributive property to solve equations. And of course, to make it fit the real world, word problems. After that, we get into linear equations and functions. A line is a function, and we have something called a vertical line test that we'll talk about. We'll put things in the form of y equals mx plus b, where m is the slope of your line, how fast you're rising or falling. B is your y-intercept, where you cross the y-axis, or your starting value if it's a word problem. And so we spend a good amount of time here on linear equations, getting us down to systems of equations, where instead of having one line, now I have two lines. We're going to see, where do my lines intersect? If they do intersect, that's also known as a solution. What if the lines are on top of each other, infinite number of solutions, or infinite times they cross? Or if they're parallel lines, no solution. So we'll deal with systems of equations, how to solve them graphically, using substitution as well as elimination. And then we go from here to geometry. And again, we may not be in the same order, but geometry, we're going to look at Pythagorean theorem, the volume and area of different shapes, cones, spheres, cylinders. We're going to get back into parallel lines, making sure that the things that we learned in 7th grade about corresponding angles, vertical angles, and things of that sort, we're going to be able to use those here. And then transformations. Take these shapes and move them around. Flip them over, a reflection. Slide them left, right, up, down. A translation, and then a rotation around a plane. And finally, data and modeling. We're going back to like a linear equation. What if we had a bunch of data spread out on a plot? We would try to draw a line of best fit. So we deal with scatter plots, two-way tables, frequency tables, things of that sort. If you're still like, oh, I don't get it, don't worry. Pretty soon, we are going to break down all of these different things into their finer components, one by one, and we're getting ready to start a series. And we're going to briefly touch on the numbers and operations. We're going to jump head first into equations. Stay tuned. Dale Myers with Student Advance, your source to help your child grow to be the person they ought to be. More to come. Take care.